Kind of funny that, you know, the stories are always just so negative. Oh, the mafia these days were so bad. And now we're talking about how awful the current government is and how corrupt and evil and busted the DOJ is. And it's like, man, can we go back to when it was bad? Because this is really
the
bad.
old mafia had to take care of the new mafia. And return the RICO charges against the politicians. How can we make that happen?
let me take, because this is a pet peeve of mine. Joe Biden, probably the worst president ever, certainly in my lifetime, no question about it. But I will tell you this. The information that they have against him with respect to his influence peddling as vice president through his son and his brother, okay, between the suspicious bank accounts, the $27 million plus that went into 18 or 21 shell companies. These shell companies did nothing, okay, but exist to collect money. There was no brick and mortar. They had no service, nothing. They did nothing. How do I know this? I had 18 shell companies when I was defrauding the government out of tax on every gallon of gasoline. All we did was use those companies to set up a bank account to collect the money. They did nothing else. They had that. They have all that information on the laptop that they said was false, and then they used it as evidence against his son in trial. The same Justice Department that said it was phony at one time used it to prosecute his son. They've got whistleblowers. They've got text messages. They've got emails. This is a racketeering indictment, 1,000%. I know that statute. Now, whether he's innocent or guilty, prove it at trial, but he should have been indicted 100%. And I believe until this moment that Hunter Biden took a plea because all this stuff would have came out at that trial and it would have buried Joe Biden.
Wow.
So he takes a plea. Joe Biden is a pathological liar. He's going to either commute his sentence or he's going to pardon him. There's no doubt about it. That's the fix. It's in already. And these people get away with this stuff. He's treasonous. He sold out America.
Do you think Biden's always been that way?
Yes.
'Cause he's always been like a plagiarist liar, right?
He's pathological. The guy makes up stories out of it. There's something mentally wrong with him.
Yeah,
That was
I agree.
His 80s presidential campaign, where what did he do? He plagiarized an Irish politician's speech?
Yeah, I mean, there's many times he plagiarized
He's been
other
doing
people's
it
speeches.
his whole career.
Yeah, it's wild.
His whole career. And look, who sums it up? Barack Obama. Never underestimate Joe's ability to F things up. He said it. He said it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it must be wild. Like, it's funny that this all comes back to politics. But it sounds to me like the real issue may be a loss of competition between crime families. That when you've got the mobsters at their height of their power and the government, it's effectively two mobs going at each other, playing this game, cat and mouse. Now there's just one unchecked, can do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
And it, you know, when I look at these people, I describe them as, we're on the Titanic, we hit the iceberg. They saw it happen, and instead of announcing it to the ship, they're running around taking as many valuables as they can and rushing for the lifeboats.
Yeah.
So all this crime running rampant through our cities, the human waste, the homelessness, the poverty, everything that's causing this decay. And they say it's not happening. Everybody shut your eyes, go back to bed. Meanwhile, those of us who are paying attention, we're watching Joe Biden run off with the silverware, and they're telling us, nah, it's fine, nothing's going on. And no one's going to stop him either because the DOJ, it works for him. He's not the boss, but he's one of them. So that's just it. We sit back and we watch them do all these things. I don't know. I don't know where we go from there, huh?
And you know, Tim, I have to say this. You know, people sometimes, you're getting into too many political issues. This is not politics. When you have people coming over the border that are swarming into your neighborhood and creating havoc and crime on taxpayer dollars, okay, when you have inflation the way it is, when you have all of this stuff going on, these are issues that are affecting our life. Unfortunately, it's politics that control these issues. But I try to make people aware of the issues, and you can't let this happen again for another 4 years. You know, I say this too. You can't trust these people. They've lied to us about Biden. They lie to us continuously every single day. They don't even care. They lie on video. It doesn't even matter anymore. If you have a friend or a companion, a partner, he lies to you once, all right, stuff happens. Second time, you start to get a little unnerved about it. Third, fourth, fifth time, hey, I'm done. It's over. So when these people are lying to you consistently, how could you trust them for another 3 or 4 years after the destruction that they've caused and the dishonesty that they bring forward? And, that's my whole thing. I do not think, I know we're getting into politics here, I don't think America is going to survive another 4 years of this administration.
I think we all agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
How do you think the mafia or the families that you knew from the 70s, 80s would have dealt with the collapsing border crisis now because fentanyl's coming over, you know. And well, you said your family wasn't dealing with drugs, but others were. You know, would they have like used that and be happy about the border failing because they could get access to the drugs easier?
No.
But then it would be hurting their neighborhoods, right?
We wouldn't have any crime in our neighborhood. Absolutely not. If we had to shoot people, we would have done it.
Right.
Nobody's going to come into our neighborhood and cry. Look, you know, I grew up, we never locked our doors. We never shut our windows. If my sisters would come home 12, 1 o'clock at night, if they were walking alone, guys would walk aside them and bring them home, you know? There was no crime in our neighborhoods, and we would not allow it. And if we had to go to war with those committing it, they'd know that, you know, here's the border, don't come here.
Right.
You know, look, what's going on today is just, I never thought I'd ever witness this in my lifetime. I mean it. And they made us to be demons and devils. And listen, I go out to Vegas. People say, Michael, can you guys come back and run this town for us again? I'm not kidding. And it was so much better when we ran it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I watched Casino, and I love Vegas. It's not. I'm not going to go there. I go there. I think I've been there like 3 times in the past decade or whatever. But watching that movie, they sure do make you love what Vegas used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so. I started going there in the late 70s.
Don't cheat.
It was so wide open. It was just great.
When they bring the guys in the back who are cheating, and they deal with it, you know, I'm not going to pretend like these are good things, but there's something about where we are today with a lack of any kind of accountability or justice for criminals, where you watch a movie like that and you're like, the cheaters got caught, they messed them up a little bit and threw them out and said, don't come back or else. And it's like, you know, it's sad to say, because again, I'm not saying that we should have a system like that, but some accountability, it feels like, would be better than what's going on now. And that's kind of terrifying. You watch these videos of these people going, there was during the riots, small family shop gets ransacked by just a roving band, and no accountability, no arrest, nothing happens. You hear these stories now in Jersey, for instance. When I lived there, someone tried to break in. The cops told me, a lawyer told me this: if you defended yourself with a firearm, you'd be in prison. Someone can break into your house with the intent to kill you, and you can't do anything to protect yourself. And then you look back at these old movies, which I'm sure kind of gloss over the nastier elements, sure. But at least the idea of your neighborhood's going to be safe, you can leave your door unlocked, and you know, as long as you're not being disrespectful or causing problems, then you were good. It's kind of terrifying to say it again. That's better than what we're seeing now in these cities. I go to DC. I see tents everywhere. I see homeless people. I see drug addiction. I went to California. Some morbidly obese homeless woman pulled her pants off in the middle of the street and just started relieving herself in front of everybody. Nobody does anything about it. San Francisco's got the poop department. Not a joke. It's a poo department that goes around to clean up the human waste all over the streets. And then you're like, was the mafia really that bad?
It's like the government made the mafia to be like these demonic figures, as you were saying, just to become it, right? Like, you know, you think in the 50s they had those hearings with Costello and stuff, and they're getting headlines then saying these are this dark, you know, these dark figures lurking in the shadows, but then they become that, and they let everything collapse around them.
Let me ask you real quick: is New York City a good example of where there was strong, you know, mafia presence? Obviously,
It was the strongest presence in this country.
Was there a fear among the people living in these areas that they could be shot randomly? You walking down the street,
Absolutely
gangster
not.
might just shoot you for no reason.
Not at all.
That's Chicago today. That's Chicago when I was growing up. We get off the store. I got a couple stories, but one is me and my brother were driving on 290. For those that don't know, it's east to west. It goes into the city, and we were exiting at Independence to go to the north side. Car driving past for no reason aims a gun and just shoots at our car, and we're just like, why? Why did that happen? And fights would break out. People would have guns, and so, you know, you say would never happen. I'm curious. Were there ever any instances? I mean, was the mafia roughing up innocent people and causing problems for innocent people, or were they left out of it as long as it's like they're taking care of their business with other groups, or what?
Tim, I honestly can say that I only know of the 20 years that I spent in that life. I only know personally of one time when an innocent person got shot. It was an accident and got shot. No, I mean, we roughed up our own. That's it.